Before I get started with this video, let me give a shout out to Little Miss Firecracker on Twitter for tagging me in this video. She told me that, Taurean, you need to do a video about this one. And usually when people say something like that in that tone, that means it's serious. And it is indeed serious. But what I want you to really pay attention to is not necessarily what's in the video. And by the way, I'm only going to play the audio because I know YouTube, if I play the video, they'll probably either block or age restrict it. And I feel a little bit more safer if I just have it on this screenshot right here and play the audio and you can actually hear it. But I want you to pay attention to the audio. What I'll do is I'll post the link down in the I'll pin it down in the comments, and if you want to watch the video you can. Something tells me by the time this video gets uploaded you will probably most likely have already seen it, but if you haven't, then I'm gonna just go through it descriptively so you can actually see it hear for yourself what's going on. But basically what happens is you have this Asian woman and this black woman on the train in New York, and they basically got into it, and then it turned from verbal to physical. And I want you to hear the responses of the people when the black woman defended herself. And also pay attention to this post in this tweet by this Alexander Cohn, posted on December 11th. Mind you, I'm recording this video on December 17th, 2021. Keep those dates in mind as I go through this, because it's going to be something I'm going to show you after I go through the descriptive part of this video and say what I have to say, that basically not aids, but also talks out or calls out how this Alexander Cohn is pushing a propaganda that black people are just inherently violent towards Asian people. So I'm going to go ahead and play the audio so you can hear what's being said.
You guys complain about racism. Who is one of you guys? Who is one of you guys? Yo, wait till I get on my stop, bitch. I'm gonna flatline your ass, bitch. Who is one of these guys, bitch? Who is one of these guys, bitch? Huh? Who is one of these guys, bitch? Who is you guys, bitch? Who is you guys, bitch?
Lady, back off.
You're attacking me and my heritage. I'll take your fucking heritage. You're attacking my heritage, bitch.
Stop it. Hey. That is uncalled for.
There are kids on a train.
That is uncalled for.
I got my boys on the train. We're not doing this not today.
Okay, so you just heard that right there. That's the audio right there. Like I said, I'm not going to play the video because I already know how YouTube might be. They'll either age restrict it or block it because of a physical assault actually occurring in this video. So basically what's going on is that you have this black woman who you can see right here with the pink hat on, and the Asian woman that's sitting it would be to her right, our left in this screen. So basically it starts off in this 45-second clip. This Asian woman is just going at this black woman, talking about heritage and then whatever. And then she said the trigger. Well, first, then the black woman is going at her like the way she's saying what she's going at her, giving her the same energy right on back. But she said the trigger words. The Asian woman said the trigger words, and that was "you people." Whenever black people hear the term "you people" from anyone who is not black, and is most likely a black person, is not going to say "you people" to another black person. But when it comes from non-black people and they say that, that's a trigger word because we know what they really want to say, and it's code speak. At that point, the black woman knew that it was no longer a verbal situation. So she stood up and got in her face and said, "You people, what do you mean by you people? You people what? You people what?" And then called her the B word a couple of times too. At that point, the Asian woman then tried to cower into the victim mode, putting her hands up, like trying to defend herself as if she was expecting this black woman to hit her. That's almost tells me right there, this Asian woman was doing enough to get this black woman out of her element to hit her. That's what generates in my mind. Then all of a sudden you have this person sitting next to her. I don't know what he was. I'm only go based off of the tone of his voice and say he's a PC man that was sitting next to her and basically trying to defend this Asian woman. The black woman says, "You can suck a dick, bitch." And then she reverts her attention back to the Asian woman. The Asian woman gets even louder. As you can see, her voice and the volume in her vocals got higher, and she starts to push the black woman back. And that's when the black woman extends out that arm and right across the face, and everyone was like, "Ooh," because they didn't expect her to hit her. And then the Asian woman wants to act like she's the helpless damsel in distress and the victim and everything like that. And now they're trying to make it seem like the black woman is the bad person. Remember, black people in America are not allowed to defend themselves verbally or physically or in any type of way. But guess what? Rules are meant to be broken, and it's an unwritten rule at that. So at that point, it doesn't matter. No, it does not. So in my eyes, this black woman defended herself and had every right to do so. If they can find Kyle Rittenhouse not guilty in all them charges and say that he defended himself for what he did, so be it. But what I also notice is that it's always the shocking thing when black people defend themselves, like this woman did in this video, or any black person for that matter in any situation. Is always a shock and all type of thing, like we're not supposed to defend ourselves. But white people can defend themselves all day, even though it doesn't look like they were defending themselves, or they can claim self-defense when we know different. Now, on to the post that really led me to making this video. And what I'll do is I will post the link to this video down and pin it in the comments if you would like to watch it. Like I said, I don't want to risk playing it on here because I already know how YouTube is when it comes to these kind of videos. So that's why I'm doing it, just to be safe and protect myself. So on to this post right here by this guy by the name of Alexander Cohn. I don't think I've ever heard of him. He has a blue check. I think he's a PC man. He posted this up here on December 11, 2021. Keep in mind, today that I'm recording it is December 17th, 2021. He said, anti-Asian racism and violence on the A train in Manhattan. Sad and wrong. At MTA, at NYPD News, at NYPD Shay. You want to know what's so interesting? Ever since the escalation of this so-called anti-Asian hate, they've always pushed out there that black people are the ones that are inherently violent with Asian people. No matter if they're a man or woman. I don't think I've heard anything involving children, but just man and women. And notice it's men and women of a certain age. Usually they're older than 40. Like they tend to be a lot older. They're not really young, like in their 20s or even their 30s. They tend to be older. So they're making it seem like not only are we out there just inherently violently attacking Asian people, but we're out there inherently attacking Asian people who are in elder stage, as in attacking people who cannot defend themselves. That's almost what they're trying to make it seem like. I don't know if y'all picked that up. And again, this happened in New York, a place where they constantly say all these attacks are happening in a huge, high amount of numbers. And remember, they got that anti-Asian hate bill signed this year. And before they really put it into the books, into a document, and made it into a law, they kept pushing out there that black people were going out there doing all these attacks, as if we were the ones that were inspiring the founding and the creation of this bill. You had people like Michelle Malkin, Juju Chang, Yami Park, and so many others. And notice it was Asian women doing this. I pointed that out a while back, who were constantly doing this. So you have this guy right here who posted this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll down a little bit. And this is his follow-up post right here. He said, Alexander Cohn, December 11th. He said, she asked me to move over so she and her friends could sit together. And I asked if she had a mask. She sat down and stared at me. And then after this woman also asked her about a mask, said some nasty stuff. So now he's trying to build up a case around this woman to make her seem even more, victimized. But I really want you to pay attention to this next tweet. Now, keep in mind the dates. The video was posted on December 11th. This follow-up tweet, this next tweet that came right after, was posted on December 11th. Now, he posted another tweet. But look at the day. December 17th, 2021, which is 5 days later, on the day that I'm recording this video at 4:25 a.m. He said, I started recording after the unmasked woman, and they're talking about the black woman, said, you brought this disease here, go back where you came from so that hateful speech is not represented. He came to this revelation of what happened 5 days after he posted this now gone viral video. And people went in on his ass about that. Because it doesn't even sound believable. You mean to tell me it took you 5 whole days to come up with this conclusion after you posted this video? But get this, check this out. Who can reply? People at Alexander Cohn follows or mention can reply. This guy turned off his mentions. Basically, people can reply to him. So all you can do is retweet and quote tweet, like it, whatever. You cannot reply to him. Why did he do this? Because he was getting that ass handed to him in them comments. That's why. He couldn't take the heat, so he got his ass out the kitchen. That's what happened. And what it basically was is he didn't get enough people to agree with the propaganda he was putting down involving this video. And people tend to do that. Now, the only other time people will do something like this is if they're getting flooded with a massive amount of trolls when it comes to certain things. I remember Nicole, from Nicole's view, had to do this a while back when she was posted about Lil Nas X. And she got flooded by so many people that she had to turn her mentions off. And that's a good reasoning as to why, because she was getting trolled heavy. But this guy put out propaganda, followed it up with this 5 days later, and turned his mentions off because nobody was agreeing with him. But see, here's the thing. He would have just did better by deleting the entire tweet, because guess what? You see this? 99 quoted tweets. And I've already looked through some of them. I'm not going to do it in this video. And them people were going in on him just on this part alone. Keep in mind, December 11th is when he posted the video in this tweet. December 17th, 5 days later, is when he posts this. Why didn't he post this on December 11th? And why did he turn his mentions off? He said only those who follow him or mention him, or he's mentioned, basically replied to, can he communicate with or see their mentions. Like, look, I can't, like, nothing says reply. There's nothing to reply to because, you know, there's nothing there. Now, these ones made it through, like the ones that says 218 and 29, because that happened before he did this. He had this already, he probably already had this turned on right when he was about to make this tweet. At 4:25 a.m. today on December 17th, the day I'm recording this video, is when he followed up with this. I'll read it again. I started recording after the so I'm guessing this Alexander Cohn guy was the one that was recording this situation. He said, I started recording after the unmasked woman said you bought this disease here, which means this guy purposely decided that he was going to record from a standpoint that made the black woman look bad. He did not record the entire thing. So my question to him is, what did the people see before you pressed record on the video and posted this video to make it look like this black woman was just inherently anti-Asian? This is spreading propaganda 101. He would have just been better to not even tweet that. But the fact that he did, that lets us know what his end game was. He's stupid for tweeting this. He brought this on himself. And that's why he turned this off, because he knew that people was going to go in. He probably would have had way more than 218 comments. But that's fine, because people can still reply to this in response to this if they get a hold of this. But it's 99 quoted tweets, so they can get him there. That, ladies and gentlemen, is how you spread anti-black propaganda. There it is. So let's run through it, summarize it again. He posted this video of this Asian woman, this black woman going at it. It was verbal, then it turned physical. Then he put anti-Asian racism, which it definitely wasn't. Because I even heard a black woman call this Asian woman anything derogatory or anything that should be deemed as anti-Asian. Wow. Why? Because she got in her face and she was defending herself. That's anti-Asian hate. If that's the case, anti-black racism or anti-black hate should have a lot of people on the list when it comes to that. As many people have gotten to our face and actually gotten physical with us. Then he posts, this tweet right here. Keep in mind, he's the one who's recording. I believe he's the one recording. And then 5 days later, this is what he posts. He started from, you brought this disease here, go back where you came from. Last I checked, didn't Wuvet come from Wuhan, which is in China? I mean, I thought we established this. I thought this has been established. But the fact that he said he started recording from here lets you know that there was more that was said, probably from that Asian woman. But to not make her look bad, we have to make this black woman look bad. And, you know, the smacking of her was the icing on the cake for him. And that's probably when he knew he was going to post this video. He knew it was going to happen. He knew that's what it was going to happen. That's what they call a money shot. But yeah, he thought he was doing something. The fact that he had to turn his comments off lets you know them people was not feeling what he posted with this. This was an epic fail on his part and an attempt to make black people look like complete monsters.